welcome to day 2 of the Advent. Got another present to unwrap. It's a bit squishy, hopefully it's not melted. Anyway, I'll open that up at the end. Just got a few things to show you. It is Advent day 2, here's a bit messy. It's just been a day at home, just chilling, relaxing, hanging out with the chickens, which I will share a video of. And I got one egg today. Isn't that beautiful? Lovely, lovely egg. Pop that in the fridge in a bit. So, didn't get up too much today. I did some spinning. I'll show you the spinning tomorrow because it's all still connected. It's on my Ashford e-spinner, so I've got it all plugged in. So, I'll show you tomorrow. Anyway, I have made a little bit of progress on my frog. This is the pattern by Claire Garland that I showed you yesterday. I have finished. There are a lot of ends to weave in, but the good thing is the arm is an I-cord, so you can hide it all in the arm, and it's like really good stuffing. So I have now completely covered one of the pipe cleaners. As you can see, you can't even see it, and it was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be, so I just snipped that bit off. Yeah, where did I put that? Oh, I snipped it off and put it somewhere. Anyway, so all these little bits need to be sewn in, which is really easy. I'll just sort of weave them into the fingers and then tuck them into the arm, which will be great. And now having the pipe cleaner in, he's going to be fully posable and he'll be able to hold on to things, and yeah, definitely want to make another one already, even before I finish this one. Now there is a project that I can share that I have been an ongoing project. I'll show you my original Hussiff that I made, which is a sewing kit, very popular in the 18th century, and that's the time period that I had been studying the extant examples of. Also, there's a really good example of an extant Hussiff from the First World War at the Auckland Museum. So I can share some links to some of those. Anyway, they're really really nice to look at. So anyway, I decided to make one for myself. I did, and it turned into a Freddie Kahlo styled Hussiff. And then I was so enamored by the Hussiff, I decided to make another one, and that one unfortunately got stolen, so I am making a third one. Luckily, when I made the second one, I had made a rough plan of how I was going to make my Hussiff, and this one was going to be one of for my knitting tools, you know, my little tiny crochet hooks, and anyway, I had lots of really cool tools in it, but sadly no longer. But anyway, the good thing was I had my template, and I decided to base it around New Zealand plants and flowers. So this is a kawakawa leaf, so that was the design that I used. And then on the inside I've got all sorts of bits and pieces. So I was just working out what tools I wanted and where they were to go. Of course I modified it a little bit. We've got a pahurikawa, manuka flowers, harakeke, the New Zealand flax. I had a little bird here, but that also changed. And on the back, on the outside pocket, so it folds up basically like that, I was going to put in a little nikau palm pocket, and this was going to be a pocket. And so I had some little templates and modified it. So luckily, when the other one went missing, I started making another one. I have taught a couple of workshops through Creative Fibre about how to make a Hussiff using my sort of very imaginative way of doing it. So this is Hussiff number 2.1, 2.2 I suppose. So this is slightly changed, but I've kept a lot of things the same. So I really like having the orange behind it, and this is an orange Thai silk that I found a top at Op Shop and decided to incorporate that into. It was beautiful silk. I used it for another bag lining, and when the opportunity came up for this one here, I just thought it would be perfect to put it behind here. So this is like a linen, and I have hand painted it with my Inktense pencils and used water to use it like a watercolour, and then iron it to make it water fast, and I've stitched all around the outside. In the part 2 version, I've got some beautiful fabrics from my friend Mika. She's been carrying around these fabrics from Japan for like 30 years when she first came to Waiheke. And on the inside, it's slowly evolving. Again, this is fabric we had at work. Behind this little bird is a magnet. So I'll just get a pin, and yeah, that will just put. So if I had this working on my lap, I can just put the pin down and it's not going to fall down. I could also do a pin cushion. But anyway, the other little pocket that I have made is the harakeke. Again, well, this one here, I was going to paint it, but I used a dark green linen and hand stitched it down and gave it a backing. There's a little pocket here intended for interchangeable knitting needles, and I've got another little pocket in there, which I might put a little fastener there just so it stays shut. And for my Nikau palm, I'm sort of making this one here. Again, I used my Inktense pencils, a linen fabric, and hand painted it and ironed it dry so that it would be colour fast, and I'm just stitching around it. This is the fabric that I'm going to use on the back. This is eco-dyed, and I've stitched it down to give the appearance and texture of an Nikau palm trunk. And the pocket will sort of sit over like that, and you'll see a tiny bit of it poking up, and it'll pop open like that. I probably might have a little bit more of this over the edge maybe. And the whole thing will be bound with a bias binding. I've got a beautiful linen bias binding, so I'll just put it down there. So when I finish it, this one will be basically sitting about here. I'll have the pocket on the outside, trim it down of course, and put bias binding around. So that is a work in progress. This one, when I first did my first one, I'll see if I can find the link to the video that I put on one of the live videos that I did on New Zealand fabrics and yarn. I just totally immersed myself in it and just made it in a couple of weeks. I was just obsessed. This one I'm taking a little bit longer to make. The other favourite thing, I found a blog on Hussiff making. I can't remember, I'll see if I can find it. And anyway, it had this really cool little pocket, so you can actually sit things in here. I often have my beeswax and thimble sort of sitting in there, and you can just pull it shut. It's one of my favourite parts of my Hussiff. It's also really good as if I'm going to use this for my knitting. When I'm tying in ends, I can actually use that little bucket to put my threads in, and so I don't make a mess everywhere. That's the idea. So this is a happy work in progress, and I'm kind of working on the Nikau palm, and then I have to work out where I'm going to put the scissors, because I definitely will have scissors sitting in here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to follow my original plan or do something else. But that is something I've been just slowly working on, and as I've been teaching workshops on how to make hussiffs and the planning of them, I'll see if I can find, I've got some pictures actually, I will pop them in and make a little slideshow for you of some of the hussiffs that some of my students have made. Anyway, I think that's pretty much all for today. So I think it must be time to open a present. I hope it's not melted. Anyway, so this is, I'll just put all this down. There. This is my 2nd of December present. So here we go. We'll see what this little present is. I love having a present to open every day. I did wait till the very end because I wanted to show you the frog and I wanted to do other things. It's a bit squishy. I wonder what it is. What is it? Oh, it's fudge. I'm going to have to put it in the fridge. Yes, it is fudge. How cool is that? Yum. Maybe that will be breakfast tomorrow. But yeah, it was a bit melty. But I will pop that into the fridge. It's been quite warm today, and I did have it in a cool place, but obviously it's just too hot. Anyway, these great little bags actually for findings and other little bits and pieces and search markers. So the bag is quite handy as well. So until tomorrow, ka kite anō, take care. And there we have the clucky one, and here's the hungry one who sits on top of the box, but when I open the box she gets in the box, don't you? Yeah.